Hi my people, welcome back to another episode of reviewing the book Diary of a CEO. We've reviewed 17 laws so far. When I say 17 laws, the book contains 33 laws of business and life. So we are going to be discussing law 18, 19 and 20 in this episode. So for law 18, it says fight for the first 5 seconds. This law proves why in marketing, business, and sales, your success often depends on just 5 seconds. If you get those 5 seconds right, you will succeed. If you don't, you will fail. So fight for the 5 seconds. We aren't reading the whole book. You're just going through the highlighted part of things. We have this aren't highlighted far, but I can see some 3 videos under here that let's take a read on it. So video 1, the first 5 seconds of the video, I recreated every single set from Squid Game in real life, and whichever one of these 456 people survives the longest wins 456 grand, and that got him 350 million views. And then the second video, the first 5 second, right, says I put 100 people inside of a giant circle, and whoever leaves the circle last wins $500,000, and that got 250 million views. So the last video, which is video 3, for the first 5 seconds, says I spent $2.5 million on this private jet, and I had 11 people put their hand on it. Whoever takes their hand off the jet last wins the private jet, and that got 100 million views. So I don't know, let's read the one that had the highest view. I recreated every single set from Squid Game in real life, and whichever one of these 456 people survives the longest wins the 456 grand. I think we'll have to find a way to make our first 5 seconds of each video on this channel make sense, like catch the attention of people so that we get more views. I think that's what's going to happen. So for me, what I'm learning from this right now is to study my scripts or my plan and try to get short sentences for the first 5 seconds of each video. So probably I'm going to change from hi my people to something like that talks more to my people and then get them engaged and we get to connect. So the very first 5 seconds is important. Yeah. All right, so let's go to another highlight. This is the first highlighted part. That one just gave us an insight on how first 5 seconds work. So we are increasingly distracted. On average, an office worker will pick up their phones more than 1,500 times per week, amounting to 3 hours and 16 minutes a day. Wow. And will check their email inbox 30 times every hour. Is this average? On average? Wow. On average. That's serious. So that means that whatever you are doing, any marketing techniques you have, I'm going to take this into like serious consideration, that my first 5 second video or my first 5 second in every video must be catchy. So from February, you're going to practice this, right? And also I'm going to start creating emails, so my first subject and all that should be also catchy. This is something you're going to experiment, and I'm going to come and give you reviews later. In fact, the reviews will be shown on the channel, because if I start implementing the 5 second rule, let's see how it goes. Okay, so the last highlighted part of the book says, attention must, sorry, attention might just be the most generous gift that anyone can give. Actually, attention is one of the most generous gifts anyone can give. When we ladies even like seek attentions a lot, so like when someone gives you attention, it means a lot to us. Me personally, when someone gives me attention, it means a lot to me. So yeah, so let's get into the next law, which brings us to pillar 3, which is the philosophy. Okay, so I think you're done with business. Let's see what pillar 2 was about. Will I find it? Pillar 2 was the story, so pillar 3 is the philosophy. So we get into law 19, and law 19 says you must sweat the small stuff. Right, this law reveals what every great entrepreneur, athlete, and coach seems to instinctively know. Your success will be defined by your attitude towards the small stuff, the things most people overlook, ignore, or do not care about. The easiest way to do big things is by focusing on the small things. So let's read again. This law reveals what every great entrepreneur, athlete, and coach seems to instinctively know. Your success will be defined by your attitude towards the small stuff, the things most people overlook, ignore, or don't care about. The easiest way to do big things is by focusing on the small things. I think at this point I can end law 19. It's very loud and clear, right? So we read the next highlighted part of law 19, and it says, the secret, in my opinion, is that we sweat the small stuff more than any other team I have ever encountered. We obsess over thousands of small details that I believe most people would dismiss as trivial, crazy, or a waste of time. So he's saying that with his team, they actually sweat over the small stuff and get obsessed over the small details more than any other people. And that's why he's just successful. True. Right. So the next highlighted part of things is the Kaizen philosophy. The Kaizen philosophy vehemently rejects the notion that only a select few members of a company's hierarchy are responsible for innovation. It insists that it has to be an everyday task and concern of all employees at all levels. So for me, I have a team and I have a community. So I have a team that runs the community. And this philosophy is saying that everyday tasks and concerns of every employee at all levels helps the company or helps my community come up with innovation ideas. So now I think we do that. I practice that in my team, whereby everybody is on board when we are discussing, brainstorming on a stand-up call. So we don't say, we the co-founders don't just go and brainstorm and come and tell the team, but the whole team, we give room for the whole team to bring their ideas on board, and then the innovation becomes greater, and we all come together, mark our script, and then get the right things to be done. So I think it's true with this. I will second this philosophy. So there's a circle here as well, and a cycle. Yeah, the cycle starts with create a standard. Everyone follows the new standard. Everyone searches for ways to improve the standard. Implement the improvement. Actually, that's what I just spoke about my community and my team, and I think that's what we did. My co-founder and I created a standard, and the very first standard we created was to be excellent at our work. And when we started employing team members on board, volunteers on board, we created a new standard for them to follow, and now we gave them room for them to search on ways we could improve our standard. And now we are implementing the new standard, and it's working beautifully. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm actually getting there. Like, I'm actually becoming successful. Oh my god. Yeah, me putting myself in this book, I'm like, I'm getting there. Even though I've like some of the laws, I'm still learning about it. But like this law, I am getting there. All right. Let's see another. Okay, there is a. Okay, so Kaizen philosophy takes time, investment, and tremendous belief. So this, I'm going to read this and I'm going to find out what the law is about. Another highlighted part. So we are still on law 19, which, remember, it says sweat the small stuff, so that's why it's a lot. You get right. So don't let these myths deceive you. True innovation is nearly always born from the sweat and determination of persistent individuals and great team bond together by the right culture and philosophy, not from Iraka moment and accidental fortune or intentional genius. So, true innovation is nearly always born from the sweat and the determination of a persistent individual and great teams. Yeah. Alright, so let's take the final highlighted part of Law 19. It says, if you don't care about tiny details, you will produce bad work. Because good work is the culmination of hundreds of tiny details. The world's most successful people always sweat the small stuff. I'm gonna start practicing this. It's gonna be a lot, but we're gonna practice it. Yeah. So let's take it again so that I can. Let's take it again. Let's take it again. If you don't care about tiny details, you will produce bad work, because good work is the culmination of hundreds of tiny details. The world's most successful people always sweat the small stuff. So please sweat the small stuff if you want to be successful. Alright, so let's get to Law 20. Law 20 says the small mess now creates a big mess. So the small mess now creates a big mess later. So the small mess now creates a big mess later. I think it's a continuation of the first, the Law 19, which talks about sweat small stuff. So it's saying if you don't sweat the small stuff now, it's gonna be a big stuff next time. So let's read. This law reveals why most people end up lost in their relationships and work, because they've overlooked one simple or ongoing discipline in their lives. That's very true. Yeah. Okay, so another highlighted part says Wood proves that the pursuit of perfection is a matter of discipline, not heroism. Okay. Let's take it again. Wood proves that the pursuit of perfection is a matter of discipline, not heroism. I'm trying to get the understanding, but I'm not getting it, so we just go ahead. So let's read the last. Let's read the last video. Let's read the last quote. It says, "The small seeds of today's negligence will bloom into tomorrow's biggest regrets." The small seeds of today's negligence will bloom into tomorrow's biggest regrets. Take note. The small seeds of today's negligence will bloom into tomorrow's biggest regrets. Alright, so we've come to the end of today's episode of reviewing the book Diary of a CEO, and we've discussed Law 18, 19, and 20. So in the next episode, we're going to discuss Law 20 then onwards. So Law 20 says you must outfill the competition. So we'll get into that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. You know what we do here. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell that other friend that Miss Liliana has dropped another video. The series reviewing Diary of a CEO book, and she discussed Law 19, 20, and Law 18, where we talked about sweating small stuffs and taking our first 5 seconds very serious when we are marketing or selling a product. All right, thank you so much for watching. You watching me, please subscribe to this channel, join the family. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, share a comment, and share this video to everyone. Also tap the post notification bell to get notified when I drop any video. Right, thank you so much for watching, and it's bye for now.